Morning glory and evening grace, America. It's Hugh Hewitt. It is the week that the campaign officially begins, so I begin with the biggest interview you can have this week, the biggest name on the stage, the highest polling person in America, Donald Trump. Just back from Great Britain. Donald Trump, welcome back to the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Hello, Hugh.
I did not know you owned Turnberry.
I do. I own it, and I have no mortgage on it. That's even better. And it's a great place. It's one of the great resorts of the world, as you know.
Well, I'm a little bit hurt. You've done some good interviews with me, and you've never invited me to play Turnberry.
Anytime you want.
All right.
We just had, as you know, I was over there because we had the Women's British Open, which is a really big tournament, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, dramatic last round. Now, can I get you to buy the Cleveland Indians? Can we get you to turn around the Indians?
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a great franchise. There's no question about it. That's true, but I don't know. And you know what? It is really a fabled and a great franchise.
You never wanted to own a sports team, have you?
Never much. I mean, I looked at them over the years, and I sort of came to the realization that you tend to make money when you sell the team. You don't make money while you own it, and the players are making more and more, so it's a little bit tough. But, hey, the NFL teams do pretty well, but it's not an easy business.
Yeah, but if you want to win Ohio in the general, you definitely want to own the Indians.
Good, then I'll buy them.
All right.
Work out a deal.
When you were gone, I was on Hannity, and I proposed that you're the only candidate now in the race, or actually in the last few races, about whom a major musical will be made. Has anyone ever approached you about Trump the musical?
They actually have, not for the race, but, you know, about 2 years ago they wanted to do it on Broadway, and they're still talking about it. It was going to be called Trump the Musical. How do you know this?
Well,
it was actually very, very big people on Broadway have wanted to do that for a couple of years, actually. Nothing to do with politics. This was before the politics.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know. Maybe it does better now. Who knows?
Well, I have bought the domain names. I'll sell them to you for $3 million.
You have a deal. That sounds great.
All right. Now let's get serious. And I want to talk first about this nonsense about a third party. I know you don't need any advice, but I'm going to give you some. You'll do better in the Republican primaries if you just swear off the third party, because a lot of Republicans will never vote for someone who, like Ross Perot, will hand the election to a Democrat.
Well, you know, it's a very interesting subject, frankly, the third party. Number one, I'm leading all the polls. You saw the new Monmouth poll just came out. That's really been that was a big victory. But I will say I only want to run as a Republican, and they've been treating me well the last couple of weeks. But as you know, we had a lot of difficulty a couple of months before that, and with, let's call it the establishment. And it just seems to me that as long as we're treated with respect and treated fairly as a Republican, I want to do that. I want to run as a Republican because that's the way we're going to win. We're going to beat – I don't know if it's going to be Hillary because, to be honest, the problem she's got with the email stuff, I mean, I don't know how she can run because Petraeus, as you know, he was just destroyed over the same thing, except his is a much more minor infraction. I mean, what she's done is criminal. So I just don't know if she's running or not. But I believe I would absolutely beat her or beat Biden or whoever is going to run because the country is ready for such a change. When it comes to that, I would say I want to keep my options open, but I could certainly maybe be convinced at a certain point.
Because I think you're putting a ceiling
very well with the folks, and we'll see what happens. But it's something where I could be convinced. There's no question about it.
Yeah, well, my 2 cents are you put a ceiling on yourself because a lot of people like me will never support anyone who dangles the opportunity out there of a third party because it means the other side wins. So just my 2 cents.
I've never heard it, put so strongly because, I want to run as a Republican. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm doing. I'm not even thinking about the other. And people want me to immediately give that up, and it's just something that it doesn't seem that important to give it up. But when you say it the way you said it, that's very interesting. So I'll be thinking about that.
All right, now I want to go back to Hillary because you just said something which is true. 18 U.S.C. 1924 makes it a crime that David Petraeus pled guilty to 2 years of probation, $100,000 fine. Before Mr. Deutsch lost his job in the government. When I was in the government handling top secret SCI information, if I'd left it on my desk, much less taken it home, much less left the government and kept it, I'd have gone to jail. You said what she has done is criminal. Do you think people widely recognize that, Donald Trump?
I think it's amazingly, you talk about Teflon, and they've been skirting the law for years on so many different elements, but it's amazing that she's getting away with it, and they talk so like she's going to be running, she's going to be the candidate. I was watching some of the pundits the other day, even the Republican guys, even the conservative guys, they're talking like it's going to be Hillary, and they don't speak of it the way I speak of it. I'm so surprised that they're not tougher with what she did with emails, because it's really a criminal act. You know, she got a subpoena from the United States Congress, and after she got the subpoena, she deleted a lot of the emails. I mean, that was a combination. So what she's done is incredible, and it's incredible to me that they're talking about her as the candidate so routinely. And you see that. You know, they talk about Hillary as the candidate, but what she did, I think, was illegal.
All right, now let me talk to you about the other big story that happened while you were in Great Britain, the Planned Parenthood videos. Have you watched them, Donald Trump?
I have. I think it was disgraceful. I have watched them, yes.
And so should the Republicans shut down the government rather than fund Planned Parenthood?
Well, I don't know what's going to happen. I guess they're doing it right now as we speak. Again, I'm in my office in New York, and I guess as we speak, they're going for a vote of some kind. And you would think that that would be a vote that they get. Is the word that they won't get that vote?
The word is that Democrats will filibuster and that the president will veto in any sense. The only way to get rid of Planned Parenthood money for selling off baby parts is to shut the government down in September. Would you support that?
Well, I can tell you this. I would, and I was also in support. If the Republicans stuck together, you could have done it with Obamacare also. But the Republicans decided not to stick together, and they left a few people out there, like Ted Cruz. You know, they left a lot of the people that really went in and wanted to do the job. And you know what? If they stuck together, they would have won that battle. I think you have to in this case also, yes.
All right. Now, I want to go and talk to you about John McCain. I've had my arguments with John McCain over the years, and a lot of them, actually. I've always said he's a great American, a lousy senator, and a terrible Republican. But he was a man of great courage. You said you don't like people who get taken captive. Do you regret that? I mean, can we admit that was a mistake? That was
You know, I actually said, and when they put the whole statement on there, it read fine. But where I'm upset with John McCain, and have been for a long time, I've been making the rounds to many states, and you see that, and I'm all over the place. And the veterans come up to see me, and they have tears. Some of these guys are just strong, powerful, wonderful people, and the families are wonderful. And they come up to me, and they have tears coming down their eyes because of the way they're treated. And John McCain has done nothing for the veterans. In addition, when I was in Arizona, I had 15,000 people that were there, and you heard about it. It was a
big rally.
Event.
Big rally.
With phenomenal people, and John McCain called them crazies. And I was so insulted. And these people were phenomenal Americans, and he called them crazies. So I have no problem with what you said, except that he's got to be a little bit careful also. You can't call those people crazies, and you got to help the veterans, and he's done. It just hasn't worked for the veterans.
But will you agree with me that people who have been captured in war are often captured because they are too courageous, and jet pilots over North Vietnam, that's courage?
Oh, absolutely, and I've said that. I've actually said it. You know, you had a very good reporter, as you know. You've heard all about that. Analyzed what I said, and came out, and Atkinson, and said that what Trump said was right, but they had to read it, and they'll take a quarter of a sentence or half a sentence out. No, certainly it's courage. I have no question about that. Where I'm disappointed with McCain is he has not taken care of the veterans, and the veterans are treated very badly in our country, and that's terrible.
All right, now I want to go back to the Republicans. If you are treated well, but you don't win anyway, all right, let's just say it's a fair fight. You're not mad. You're not going to run a third party. You declare as much. Can we talk to you already about running against de Blasio? Because you could beat de Blasio like a pancake, right? And you know how to run New York.
He certainly has a lot of problems in New York, I will say that, and a lot of people are very unhappy. So we'll see what's going on. I certainly would have no interest in doing that, but he does have a lot of problems in New York, and the people in New York are very upset with him.
Why would you have interest in being the mayor of New York? You're a big guy. It takes a big guy. It takes Rudy. It takes LaGuardia. It takes Jimmy Walker. It takes big people to run that city.
Rudy actually did a very good job. Rudy was a very good mayor, did a good job, especially when it came to the crime aspect of it, and he was terrific. No, it's just something I don't have. I mean, I am so set on making America great again, and I know how to do it, and I will make such incredible trade deals. We're losing with everything. We're losing with China. We're losing with Vietnam. People don't realize what's going on with Vietnam. We're losing in trade and at the border with Mexico. I mean, everybody beats us. Saudi Arabia makes $1 billion a day, and they give us nothing, and we protect them. Without us, they wouldn't be there for 15 minutes, frankly. And I just see what's going on, and I can't believe the stupidity. You look at the Iran deal. I mean, tell me about the Iran deal with the 24 days and with the 4 prisoners that we can't even get because they don't want to bring it up because it's too complicated. And why is it complicated? And, we gave them back a nuclear scientist. People don't even realize that. We gave them back one of their scientists, a nuclear scientist, and yet we can't talk about these 4 people that are in prison for no reason whatsoever. One's in prison because he's a Christian, okay?
Right.
I mean, he's a Christian pastor. So, I look at what's going on with the country. I look at a Bergdahl, Sergeant Bergdahl. He's terrible. I mean, he's a traitor. He's horrible. So we get Bergdahl, and they get 5 of the people that they most wanted anywhere in the world. They get them, and now those people are back on the battlefield. And we have Bergdahl. Who the hell wants him?
All right, question. Edward.
I can't believe what goes on with our government.
Edward Snowden, hero or traitor?
Oh, I say total traitor. I think he's disgusting, and I think he's a traitor. And I think it's amazing that Russia is keeping him, and it just shows the disdain that Russia has for Obama. I say total traitor.
All right, let me go to some policy.
And he caused us tremendous problems.
Oh, you bet.
With other governments. Caused us tremendous problems.
So did Hillary. I mean, those governments knew everything that was on Hillary's server, right?
I agree with that. And you know who also knew? Uma Abedin. And you know who her husband is? One of the sleaziest guys in the world, Anthony Weiner. Now, you don't think she told him about all of these emails and shit? Uma was the one that really sort of processed it. She had everything. And of all of the people, she's married to Anthony Weiner. And he now works for a PR firm. So think of this. He's a PR guy working for a PR firm. He's a total sleaze, and she's giving all this information, and this is top secret stuff, but she's the one that processed it.
There are concerns about Uma as well by Andrew McCarthy. I put them in my book, The Queen, that she has a very sketchy background going back to Muslim Student Association and other sketchy. Do you share those concerns?
Well, I certainly think there's a lot of things going wrong with Uma, and part of it from my standpoint, because I knew Weiner, and Weiner is not a good guy, and for his wife, and a husband and a wife, they talk. It's called natural. They talk. And for his wife to have access to these emails and give them to Anthony Weiner and what he did, forget about the Internet, what he did. I mean, he now works for a public relations firm.
All right, let me ask you about the American nuclear triad. Is it necessary anymore, Donald Trump? Is it affordable?
I think that one of the most important things that we have to worry about is nuclear, generally speaking. The power of nuclear, the power of the weapons we have today. And that's why, by the way, that's why our deal with Iran, the concept of it is so important. But you have to make a good deal. And what they should have done is they should have doubled up and tripled up the sanctions and negotiated from strength instead of the pathetic negotiators that we had. So anything having to do with nuclear, to me, the power of the weapons, the problem we have today is not how many soldiers you have. The power of weaponry today is of utmost importance.
Do we need all the 3 kinds of nuclear weapons that we have, though?
I think we should absolutely, we're going to have to build ourselves back up because our stuff, I don't know if you saw that 60-minute piece, it was about a year ago, where our nuclear weapons are so obsolete and so outdated. The phones didn't work. They were wires, and the wires were rotted. And frankly, I mean, to allow that even to go on television where they're, giving tours of places, the silos, and they're rusting and rotting. And if I'm Putin and I'm looking at that, I'm saying, wow, these guys don't have the power that we thought they had.
But do you think we can afford to just update one of the 3 legs, or do we need all 3 of them like we did during the Cold War?
I think we need massive protection. And unfortunately, the nuclear is the protection. It's not just a question of having 1 million soldiers nowadays. You need the protection because North Korea has it. The deal, based on everything I've seen, as you know, Iran is going to have it. Pakistan has it. India has it. I mean, hopefully India is on our side a little bit more than most. But people are getting it. And Russia has it big league, and China has it. But, Putin said about a month ago, and I was shocked to hear it. First time I've ever heard it from that kind of a power. Essentially said, don't mess with us. We have nuclear weapons. Do you remember that, right?
Yeah. Hey,
I've never heard anybody say that from that kind of a country.
We're out of time, so I just got to close with a couple of pop culture. Have you picked a campaign song yet? Like Frozen, you could do Let It Go. That would be a good one for you.
Well, basically, we're not going to take it anymore, which is pretty good. It's pretty good because that's what it is. We can't take it anymore.
Arnold used that,
though. We can't take stupidity anymore.
Arnold used that, and Arnold turned out to have a glass jaw, Donald Trump.
He did. I didn't know he used it. Well, maybe I'll have to think about that. I didn't know he used it. Yeah, but, I mean, that's one of many. It's
Frozen, let it go.
Honestly, it's not about songs. It's about getting it done. And my theme is Make America Great Again. The theme is very important.
I love your helicopter gig coming up in Iowa. That's a terrific idea.
Well, we're going to try getting the kids on there and give them a little fun, too.
Yeah, make sure that the helicopter's working. Last question. When's the last concert you went to, Donald Trump?
Well, I haven't had much time. I probably Elton John at Madison Square Garden.
Okay, so you do go to concerts. You are a pop music aficionado.
A little, not aficionado, but I do like music.
Okay, Elton John. So last thing I'm leaving you with, I'm waiting for the Turnberry invite. Number 2, think about the Indians.
100% on both. I love the idea of the Indians, I have to tell you. And Turnberry, as you know, is a very special place.
It is. Donald Trump,
a great champion.
Always a great pleasure to talk to you. Watch you on Thursday night.
Thank you very much, Hugh. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.